Alright, so over here we have our zone 4, okay? So we have a separate home run that ran over here and ran up the column and right to there. And then what we did was, which I'm okay with, we put it inside of another tube, okay? So you can see you got a tube inside of a tube. We used looks like a 3/8 OD tube. Actually, it's either 3/8 or ½ inch, I can't quite tell. And they used that as a kind of like a shield, and you can see right there that they've run that all the way to the compression fitting where they attach the stainless steel. Now that's okay. I'd also recommend sealing around anywhere, like right where that outer tubing meets the compression. Seal around that with a little bit of tape. We've done the same thing here, which is seal, which is cut into the beam. Got our compression coupling right there. We got some clamps just to kind of secure it up in there. And we run all the way to the end. And then at the end, we have a compression nut, which is currently leaking. So this is a good example. I have to have guys come back out here, but you always want to pressure test. It was raining yesterday when they finished this. So you want to always, like we talked about in that pool fog video, is you always want to check all your compression fittings before you leave, because see right there we're about to get a drip. And a drip, if they seal this, would mean that we would have to come back out here after the stucco guy comes, and we'd have to fix that, and no one wants to come out and have to have the stucco guy come out twice. So definitely, like I said, very, very important to check those compression fittings after you're done. But I won't get too mad at my guys because they finished this job in the pouring rain yesterday. So, but that's that. So now we have our curtain over here. We're doing a little patio renovation, and but again, like I said, you can see the mist is blowing this way because now the wind has picked up since we got here, and it's going to kind of blow it whichever way it wants to go. So that's why, you know, this pool is really unique, and it's a nice pool, and they wanted, you know, some different things, and we were happy to give it to them. And but your fans are always going to be your best bet because those are really going to direct the cooler air which way you want them to go. This is also an example of the L bracket. Zoom in on that real fast. So if you don't have a ceiling and you want the functionality, you've got this L bracket right there that will allow you to L bracket allows you to be able to mount the ceiling and mount the fan wherever you want it. But I can still turn the fan this way or this way, and I can tilt it like at an angle. What I've done here is, as I'll zoom out, is I've actually installed it quite high. And the higher the better, because right here, you know, obviously is about, you know, the table is about 3 feet, and I've got the bottom of that fan at about 10 to 11 feet, and that's because I want to give it as much time as the mist can to evaporate, so that the last thing that they're going to feel is just a nice cool air. So anytime that you have nice high ceilings like this and you can mount them up higher, go right ahead. It's not a problem. The higher the better, because as you know, that fan on high will push air about 25 to 30 feet. So they're gonna, even on high or even on medium, really, they're gonna still feel it. But you're giving, you know, like I said, you're giving that mist plenty of time to evaporate. So that concludes our advanced zoning 101. Oh, one last thing is this customer understands that since I've given him a ball valve, and it's not a bad idea to actually have him sign something, that since he has literally a ball valve to turn off each and every mister, he has a ball valve over there that I showed you over there. So he's got one that was for zone 4. He's got one here, which is zone 3, and then he has two back here. Oops. He has two back here that are zone 2, and then zone 1. So if he turned all these ball valves off, he would actually deadhead the pump, and eventually it would start building lots and lots of heat, and it would eventually burst a line. So he understands that would, you know, void any kind of warranty that we would be providing. So very important that the pump always, you want it to, a good rule of thumb is about 20%. So you always want to at least be letting out 20%. So he's got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got about 10 10 nozzles in his flower bed. So really he needs to be running at a very minimum. This is a 1 GPM pump. He wants to be running at least his flower bed or a kind of combination. He understands that on a 1 GPM pump he cannot just run his 4 nozzles on his fan. He must run those 4 fans and one of these other zones in order to not cause problems. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.